The Hope for Tomorrow charity auction was a symphony of societal contradictions, a stage set for the collision of wealth and vulnerability. Crystal chandeliers cast fractured light upon the polished faces of the city's elite, their whispers a low hum of ambition and insecurity. Veronica Mayfield, adorned in diamonds that mirrored the cold glint in her eyes, surveyed the room with a practiced disdain. She was a queen in her gilded cage, desperate to maintain her reign, threatened by any presence that dared to eclipse her carefully constructed image. Enter Keanu Reeves, a quiet anomaly in this landscape of excess. His presence, understated yet magnetic, drew attention not for its extravagance, but for its authenticity. He moved with a grace that defied the rigid social choreography of the event, his eyes reflecting a genuine warmth that seemed to unsettle those accustomed to superficiality. He represented a different kind of power, one rooted in compassion rather than competition. The tension in the room thickened when Veronica, fueled by a cocktail of insecurity and entitlement, publicly targeted Keanu with a dismissive remark about his attire. Her words, laced with venom, hung in the air like a challenge, a gauntlet thrown down in the arena of social dominance. The other guests, momentarily stunned, held their breath, their allegiances wavering between the established order and the unsettling presence of genuine humanity. This seemingly minor exchange ignited a spark, illuminating the stark contrast between Veronica's desperate need for validation and Keanu's unwavering commitment to kindness. It was a moment that would challenge the foundations of their carefully constructed world, forcing them to confront their own values and the true meaning of philanthropy. The stage was set for a dramatic reckoning, a battle between appearances and authenticity that would ultimately redefine the purpose of the evening and the lives of those in attendance. Samuel Bennett, a humble guest of honor, watched the events unfold with anticipation, hoping for compassion to win over vanity. The Hope for Tomorrow Gala unfolds within the grand ballroom of the opulent Grand Astoria Hotel, a monument to Gilded Age excess. Crystal chandeliers imported from Bohemia drip with refracted light, illuminating hand-painted frescoes depicting scenes of classical philanthropy. Yet beneath the veneer of sophistication lies a palpable tension, a silent battle for social capital waged among the city's elite. This is a world where appearances matter more than actions, where reputations are currency, and where genuine kindness is often mistaken for weakness. Veronica Mayfield, a product of this world, is a study in contradictions. Inheriting her family's fortune, she has everything money can buy, yet she remains haunted by a deep-seated insecurity. Her opulent lifestyle is a carefully constructed facade designed to mask her vulnerabilities and project an image of unwavering confidence. Her initial motivation is simple: to maintain her position atop the social hierarchy, even if it means tearing others down in the process. Keanu Reeves, on the other hand, operates from a completely different set of principles. He is a man who has seen the dark side of fame and fortune, who has experienced personal loss, and emerged with a profound appreciation for human connection. His quiet charisma stems from a deep well of empathy, a genuine desire to alleviate suffering and bring joy to others. He attends the gala not for personal gain, but to lend his support to a cause he believes in. His presence a stark reminder of the true meaning of philanthropy. Mr. Andrews, the seasoned auctioneer, is a master of navigating this complex social landscape. He understands the motivations of the wealthy, their desires for recognition, and their anxieties about status. He uses his wit and charm to guide the auction, skillfully maneuvering between the competing egos and ensuring that the evening's true purpose, raising money for those in need, remains at the forefront. His primary motivation is to bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots, to use his platform to promote compassion and solidarity. Lila Chen, a young aspiring philanthropist, represents the future of giving. She lacks the wealth and connections of the other guests, but she possesses an unwavering passion for making a difference. Inspired by Keanu's example and disheartened by Veronica's behavior, she sees the gala as an opportunity to learn from the best and to find her own path towards creating positive change. Samuel Bennett, a figure of quiet dignity, observes the spectacle. With a knowing gaze, a humble reminder of the grassroots efforts that truly transform communities. These characters, each with their unique backgrounds, motivations and perspectives, are about to collide in a moment of dramatic reckoning, their lives forever altered by a single gesture of compassion and solidarity. As the shock of Keanu's generous donation subsides, a deeper conflict emerges. Veronica's carefully constructed world begins to crumble. A flashback reveals the source of her insecurity, a strained relationship with a demanding father who valued success above all else. Meanwhile, Mr. Andrews, seemingly a neutral facilitator, privately struggles with the charity's questionable financial practices, fearing the good intentions are being exploited. Lila discovers a hidden connection between Veronica's family and the very community Hope for Tomorrow claims to serve, hinting at a history of exploitation masked by philanthropy. The seeds of doubt are sown, suggesting the evening's apparent triumph is merely a prelude to a more complex and morally ambiguous truth. Veronica, now driven by a genuine desire for redemption, aims to uncover the truth about Hope for Tomorrow, hoping to rectify her family's past transgressions. Her initial obstacle is the charity's board, populated by powerful figures who are resistant to scrutiny. She begins to cautiously build a relationship with Lila, recognizing her unwavering moral compass, but struggles to fully trust anyone after years of superficial connections. Keanu, while continuing his charitable efforts, subtly investigates Mr. Andrews' concerns, sensing a discrepancy between the charity's public image and its internal operations. He aims to protect the vulnerable communities the charity purports to serve, but faces the challenge of navigating the complex web of influence and potential corruption without damaging the organization's overall mission. Mr. Andrews, torn between his loyalty to Hope for Tomorrow and his growing unease, grapples with the ethical dilemma of exposing potential wrongdoing. He fears professional repercussions and the possibility of discrediting the charity's positive impact, however limited. He seeks counsel from Samuel Bennett, whose years of community service offer a grounded perspective on the complexities of philanthropy. Lila, inspired by Veronica's transformation and eager to contribute meaningfully, dedicates herself to researching the charity's beneficiaries. She aims to identify the most pressing needs and ensure that the funds are being allocated effectively. Her investigation leads her to uncover a pattern of neglect in a specific underserved neighborhood, fueling her determination to expose the truth and advocate for change. This puts her in direct conflict with a shadowy figure connected to the charity's finances, placing her in unexpected danger. A subplot emerges involving a struggling artist who unknowingly created the frescoes in the Grand Astoria Hotel, his work now symbolizing the very wealth inequality he critiques. His story intertwines with the main narrative as Lila seeks his perspective on the ethics of art and philanthropy, adding another layer of complexity to the unfolding drama. Lila's apartment is ransacked, her research notes stolen, and she narrowly escapes a confrontation with a masked assailant. This act of violence serves as the inciting incident propelling the story into high gear. The break-in confirms Lila's suspicions about hope for tomorrow and the lengths to which some will go to protect its secrets. Veronica, horrified by the attack on Lila, feels a surge of responsibility and guilt, recognizing the danger she has unwittingly placed her new friend in. This fuels her determination to expose the truth, no matter the cost. She decides to leverage her family's influence to gain access to the charity's confidential records, a decision that puts her in direct opposition to her father. Keanu, upon learning of the break-in, realizes the situation is far more serious than he initially suspected. He decides to use his celebrity status to draw attention to the issue, hoping to pressure the authorities into launching a proper investigation. He also vows to protect Lila, recognizing her courage and vulnerability. Mr. Andrews, witnessing the escalating events, can no longer remain silent. He decides to leak incriminating documents to Veronica, providing her with the evidence she needs to expose the charity's wrongdoing. This act of defiance puts his career and reputation at risk, but he believes it is the only way to restore his integrity. Samuel Bennett, concerned for Lila's safety, offers her refuge in his home, a safe haven from the escalating conflict. He provides her with emotional support and wisdom, reminding her of the importance of staying true to her values in the face of adversity. The incident forces all the characters to make critical choices, altering their relationships and setting them on a collision course with the powerful forces protecting hope for tomorrow's secrets. Veronica's access to the charity's records reveals a pattern of misappropriated funds and inflated administrative costs, with the majority of donations failing to reach the intended beneficiaries. She faces a new challenge, convincing the authorities to take action against the powerful individuals involved, including her own father. Her motivation deepens from mere redemption to a fierce desire to protect the vulnerable communities being exploited. Keanu's public advocacy draws both support and backlash. He receives threats from anonymous sources and faces accusations of grandstanding, testing his resolve to remain committed to the cause. A new character, a seasoned investigative journalist named Sarah, approaches him with information linking hope for tomorrow to a larger network of corrupt organizations offering to help him expose the truth. Mr. Andrews, now ostracized by his former colleagues, struggles to find work and faces financial hardship. He finds solace in Samuel Bennett's unwavering support and begins to explore a new career path focused on promoting ethical fundraising practices. His motivation shifts from protecting his reputation to championing transparency and accountability in the philanthropic sector. Lila, determined to continue her research despite the danger, connects with a group of community activists who have been fighting against Hope for Tomorrow's exploitative practices for years. She learns about the devastating impact of the charity's actions on the neighborhood and gains a deeper understanding of the systemic issues at play. Her motivation evolves into a commitment to empowering marginalized communities and amplifying their voices. The struggling artist Marco becomes increasingly involved in the conflict, using his art to raise awareness about the charity's corruption. His powerful murals depicting the plight of the exploited community attract attention and inspire others to take action, adding a visual dimension to the unfolding drama. A subplot emerges involving a former employee of Hope for Tomorrow who possesses crucial evidence but fears for their safety. Veronica, Keanu and Leela must work together to convince this individual to come forward, facing a race against time to prevent the evidence from being destroyed. Veronica's father, enraged by her betrayal, threatens to disown her and cut off her access to the family fortune, forcing her to choose between her loyalty to her family and her commitment to justice. She discovers that his involvement in Hope for Tomorrow is far deeper than she initially suspected, adding a personal and emotional dimension to the conflict. Keanu and Sarah, working together to uncover the truth, face increasing harassment and surveillance, realizing they are being actively targeted by powerful forces. Sarah's investigation reveals a connection between Hope for Tomorrow and an international money laundering scheme, raising the stakes even higher. Mr. Andrews, facing mounting financial pressure, is tempted to accept a lucrative offer from a rival auction house, raising questions about his commitment to ethical principles. He confides in Samuel Bennett, who reminds him of the importance of staying true to his values, even in the face of adversity. Lila, working with the community activists, organizes a protest against Hope for Tomorrow, attracting media attention and putting pressure on the authorities to take action. However, the protest is met with resistance from the charity's supporters, leading to a tense confrontation that threatens to turn violent. Marco's murals become a target of vandalism, symbolizing the attempt to silence dissenting voices. He refuses to be intimidated, vowing to continue using his art to expose the truth and inspire hope. The subplot involving the former employee intensifies as Veronica, Keanu and Lila race against time to protect this individual from harm, leading to a dangerous encounter with the shadowy figures protecting Hope for Tomorrow's secrets. Veronica, armed with irrefutable evidence, and Sarah's investigative report, decides to hold a press conference publicly exposing Hope for Tomorrow's corruption and implicating her own father. This act of defiance marks a major turning point, shattering the charity's carefully constructed image and igniting a media frenzy. She confronts her father in a tense private meeting, revealing the depth of her disappointment and vowing to make amends for his actions regardless of the personal consequences. Keanu, using his platform and influence, rallies public support for the exploited communities, launching a campaign to redirect funds and resources to grassroots organizations that are truly making a difference. He faces a moral dilemma when he discovers that Sarah has a hidden agenda, seeking to exploit the scandal for her own personal gain, testing his ability to discern truth from manipulation. Mr. Andrews, inspired by Veronica's courage, publicly apologizes, for his complicity in the charity's wrongdoing and offers to testify against his former colleagues, risking his reputation and future career. Leela, empowered by the community's support, and Marco's art, organizes a massive benefit concert to raise funds for the affected neighborhoods, showcasing the resilience and creativity of the marginalized communities. She receives a threatening message, warning her to stop her activism, forcing her to confront her fears and reaffirm her commitment to justice. The former employee, finally convinced to come forward, agrees to testify against Hope for Tomorrow, providing the crucial evidence needed to bring the perpetrators to justice, setting the stage for a dramatic courtroom showdown. Samuel Bennett, seeing the culmination of their efforts, reflects on the power of collective action and the enduring hope for a more just and compassionate world. Before the courtroom showdown, Veronica attempts to reconcile with her father, offering him a chance to publicly acknowledge his wrongdoing and make amends to the community, setting the stage for a potential act of redemption. He refuses, foreshadowing a difficult and painful confrontation. Keanu confronts Sarah about her hidden agenda, exposing her manipulative tactics and severing their alliance, forcing him to rely on his own instincts and judgment. He uses his final interview before the trial to highlight the importance of ethical philanthropy and to call for greater transparency and accountability in the non-profit sector. Mr. Andrews, preparing to testify, receives a veiled threat, creating a moment of doubt and fear. He seeks comfort from Samuel Bennett, who reminds him of the lasting impact of his actions, strengthening his resolve to do the right thing. Lila and the community activists organize a silent vigil outside the courthouse, demonstrating their solidarity and unwavering support for the victims of Hope for Tomorrow's corruption, foreshadowing a powerful display of unity. Marco completes a new mural near the courthouse, depicting the faces of the exploited community members, creating a visual representation of the human cost of the charity's wrongdoing. A minor subplot is resolved when the rival auction house publicly condemns Hope for Tomorrow's actions and offers Mr. Andrews a position, affirming his commitment to ethical practices. Veronica's mother, who has been silent throughout the ordeal, secretly provides Lila with crucial information about her husband's dealings, hinting at a potential alliance and a shift in family dynamics. The former employee, now under witness protection, arrives at the courthouse, symbolizing the triumph of courage over fear and setting the stage for the climactic trial. Keanu reflects privately, remembering similar struggles during his career, offering a moment of introspection. As the trial begins, Veronica's father, in a desperate attempt to salvage his reputation, attempts to discredit her testimony, forcing her to publicly reveal deeply personal and painful details about their relationship, testing her emotional resilience. Keanu, subpoenaed to testify, faces intense scrutiny from the defense, who attempt to portray him as a naive celebrity manipulated by others, challenging his credibility and integrity. Mr. Andrews, on the witness stand, is subjected to ruthless cross-examination. His past mistakes and vulnerabilities exposed, threatening to undermine his testimony and jeopardize the entire case. Lila, witnessing the proceedings, feels a surge of doubt and fear, questioning whether their efforts will be enough to overcome the powerful forces protecting Hope for Tomorrow, pushing her to the brink of despair. A surprise witness emerges, a former beneficiary of Hope for Tomorrow, who has been silenced for years, offering a powerful and emotional account of the charity's neglect and abuse, providing a crucial turning point in the trial. Marco's murals, now prominently displayed throughout the city, become a symbol of hope and resistance, inspiring a wave of public support for the victims and putting further pressure on the authorities. Samuel Bennett, observing the trial with a heavy heart, reflects on the long history of inequality and injustice, reminding everyone of the importance of fighting for a more equitable world. Just before the jury begins deliberations, Veronica receives a heartfelt letter from her mother, expressing her pride and support, providing a moment of emotional solace and reaffirming her commitment to justice. The stage is set for a climactic verdict, with the fate of hope for tomorrow and the lives of countless individuals hanging in the balance. The jury delivers its verdict guilty. Veronica's father and several other members of Hope for Tomorrow's board are convicted of fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy, bringing them to justice for their crimes. Veronica confronts her father one last time, offering him forgiveness and urging him to use his remaining resources to make amends to the community. He finally acknowledges the harm he has caused and vows to dedicate the rest of his life to repairing the damage. Keanu, vindicated by the verdict, launches a new initiative focused on promoting ethical philanthropy and empowering grassroots organizations, inspiring others to give back with transparency and accountability. Mr. Andrews, cleared of any wrongdoing, is reinstated in the auctioneering community and becomes a vocal advocate for ethical fundraising practices, using his platform to promote transparency and accountability. Leela, now a recognized leader in the philanthropic sector, establishes a foundation to support innovative community-led initiatives, empowering marginalized communities to address their own needs and build a more equitable world. Marco's murals become a permanent fixture in the neighborhood, serving as a reminder of the power of art to inspire hope and resistance. In the aftermath of the trial, Veronica, Keanu, Mr. Andrews, and Lila come together to establish a new organization dedicated to promoting ethical philanthropy and empowering marginalized communities, creating a lasting legacy of compassion and solidarity. The community, revitalized by the influx of resources and the renewed sense of hope, begins to thrive, demonstrating the transformative power of collective action. The story concludes with a call to action, to question the motives behind charitable actions, to demand transparency and accountability, and to support organizations that are truly making a difference. It urges viewers to embrace compassion, empathy, and a commitment to justice, reminding them that even a single gesture of kindness can spark a movement that transforms the world. The Hope for Tomorrow Gala, once a symbol of wealth and superficiality, is transformed into an annual celebration of ethical philanthropy and community empowerment, a testament to the enduring power of compassion and solidarity. Years later, Veronica, now a dedicated advocate for ethical philanthropy, returns to the Grand Astoria Hotel, not for a lavish auction, but to host a workshop on responsible giving. She reflects on her journey, acknowledging her past mistakes and celebrating the transformative power of compassion and solidarity. She stands beside Lila, her friend and partner, a testament to the enduring bonds forged in the crucible of adversity. Keanu continues to use his platform to amplify the voices of marginalized communities, traveling the world to support grassroots initiatives and inspire hope. He remains a symbol of genuine kindness and unwavering integrity, proving that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the impact one has on the lives of others. Mr. Andrews, a respected voice in the philanthropic sector, dedicates his career to promoting transparency and accountability, ensuring that donations are used effectively and ethically. Samuel Bennett, now in his twilight years, witnesses the culmination of his life's work, seeing the community he dedicated himself to thriving, a testament to the enduring power of collective action and the unwavering spirit of hope. The story ends with a final scene: Veronica, Keanu, Mr. Andrews, and Lila standing together, looking towards the future, ready to continue their fight for a more just and compassionate world. The epilogue serves as a reminder that the pursuit of justice and equality is a continuous journey, one that requires courage, compassion, and unwavering commitment. It leaves the audience with a lasting impression, urging them to embrace their own power, to make a difference, and to create a world where kindness and solidarity prevail. What gesture of compassion and solidarity will you make today?